Brothers and sisters, have a lot of technical difficulties here. So I'm gonna get right to the main point here. And this, and if I have a commentary, I'll have to save it to the end. Make sure my sound is okay here. Yes, it's okay. Okay, I guess my sound's okay. Anyway, just as I've been mentioning, it will be a free gift, brothers and sisters. This information for the Messenger Covenant. So why are they charging you? That should be a big sign right there. Let's move into the situation, brothers and sisters. The thing is that, everything around you is mathematics. Everything around you is mathematics. You deal with mathematics constantly, every day, in every way. Pure as mathematics, everything that you handle results in mathematics, but you don't know any mathematics. How is that? How is that possible? How are you left out? The world is dealing with mathematics, except for you. You just use it. So if they stop producing it, what happens to you then? This is a mathematics reality, whether you like it or not, whether it's a good one or a bad one. Water is water, whether it's dirty or clean, it's still water. It's a mathematical reality. And you out of touch with it. What does that mean? Move on, brothers and sisters. What I want to talk about is the mathematics of the Antichrist. Mathematics of Antichrist. Okay. Now, let me do something here, brothers and sisters, because I have a new provider and everything, and maybe, possibly, maybe they're not up to speed. And maybe I need to go back to where I was. So, because it seems like I'm having I know part of the difficulties are with YouTube itself, because they're modifying my presentations. But then some of it could be just technical. So, we'll see. See if I can, how can I do this here? Okay, now why is that doing it? Here we go again, brothers and sisters. Oh, that's right. That's good. That's my error. Okay. And move myself out the way here. I can. No, nope, don't do that. No, I don't do that either. Okay, see if that works. Okay, brothers and sisters, I'm going to try to talk real slow. And clearly, if that's possible. Now, I talk about energy deprivation. And, basically, the general idea how it works. But I'm I'm going to go to the mathematics of it. See, I'm going real deep into it. Mathematics is the heart of it. I mean, that explains, like the angel explains everything. But this reality explains everything. They can't hide. All their motivation, everything's been exposed. Like I said, I'm going to keep the commentary to end. But I'm going to see if I can explain this, right? Okay, see that arrow? Okay, first of all, see that white line? This. Okay. This is called like a fulcrum. A fulcrum is if you're on what they call those things? Okay, not a sliding board. I forget what you call them. Right. Anyway, you get on one side, the person get on the other side, right? And the other thing in the middle. I don't know why I can't remember what that is. not slide, not sliding board. I forget what they call it. Yeah, we know what I'm talking about, right? So that thing in the center is a fulcrum, right? So you're going on, you're going up and down, right? Thing sits the fulcrum. So if you move that fulcrum over, you get what they call leverage. Now, I don't know if some of this stuff probably going to pass some of it. If you ain't developing math, probably not going to make any sense to you. But leverage is like, well, I'm not going to try to explain, look it up. If you move that fulcrum, you give leverage to the side. Okay, if you move it, you got two people, right, on each side. You got the fulcrum in the middle, right? So if you move that fulcrum over to the right, right, you get a person over to the left, more leverage, right? So in other words, if you move it over, so in other words, if both weigh 200 pounds, and it's in the center, that's going to be, right? But if one weighs 100 pounds, one weighs 200 pounds, but if one on the side 11, side on the left, and you move the fulcrum to the right, then they can make it equal, make it balance, right? Because you got leverage because you move it over to the right, if you move it over sufficient enough. So the thing is, the universe, that fulcrum in the universe moves. So the universe expands and contracts. That fulcrum is exactly in the middle, in the beginning of expansion, and is in the beginning of contraction. It's exactly in the middle. But in the beginning of expansion, the fulcrum starts moving towards, see, in other words, you got, right? And you got 2 inch universe, this end, right? Okay, so the fulcrum is actually in the middle, here. But as you move this way towards, then the fulcrum starts moving this way, right? You see? And then when you get in here, it's equal. And then it starts moving back the other way. It's unequal. But when it's moving this way, from the expansion, we start expanding. That means we start losing leverage because we're losing energy. We're losing energy because energy is expanding. As you're expanding, the leverage goes down. See, I'm trying to give you the mathematics behind this. This is not some conjecture or not some analogy. It's just the math of it, brothers and sisters. So it's perfectly balanced, right? At the beginning, and you can't really say beginning end because there's no beginning or end, but if you start the expansion, it's perfectly balanced at that point, and then it starts moving, and we start expanding, so we lose energy. So we start losing leverage because we have less energy until it gets down to we have no energy at all. And then it starts moving back the other way. Well, I can't say we have no energy at all. Because of our nature, in other words, we require a certain amount of energy. And we always exist. Right? So when I say get to the point, we never get to the point where there's no energy. We get to the point where we don't have enough energy to maintain ourselves. Right? But there's energy because we are energy. We ourselves are energy. Right? So you lose leverage as you move further and further until you get down to the point where we don't have enough energy to maintain ourselves anymore. And then it starts back to the way again. Start gaining leverage, start gaining energy, start gaining leverage, have more power, right? Because they have leverage. So we can move, like I said, a 100-pound person can lift a 200-pound person if you move that fulcrum over sufficiently. Think about that now. A 100-pound person, right? I don't know why I can't recall those things. Right? I mean, yes, I've been on one of those things, right? You know, it's not a slider board. Anyway, anyway, So as a smooth, now we start, because a 100-pound person can balance a 200-pound person if you move the fulcrum over. So we have more leverage, so we have more leverage over the universe. You understand? More leverage over it, have more control of it. Okay? So as the other way, we start losing control of it till we get to the point we had no control at all. No, not even of ourselves. You understand that? I'm trying to make these things very right, simple. Right? Okay. So understand that. Okay, so what I'm showing that arrow there is moving, leverage is moving the fulcrum in a negative direction. So in other words, the universe is expanding. So at 0 is the point where, right, it's totally contracted, right? See, okay? Maybe I shouldn't say it that way. 0 at the, because this is where the complication comes in. I'm gonna leave it like that, bosses. That's gonna confuse some of you. Because we never go to 0. We want to go to 0 amount of energy that we need to maintain ourselves. Because we have a certain amount of energy to maintain ourselves, and then the rest of the energy we use to make things happen. So anyway, you're moving in a negative direction. Focus moving. That's what it shows, moving in a negative direction, moving towards 0. In other words, at this point, this is a point where we have leverage. Universe is still positive, still energy, and now it's getting less and less and less. Right? Okay. So right we say 100, okay, that's us. That's how much energy we need to maintain ourselves. Say we need 100 units for energy to maintain ourselves. Right? But we have 300 units. Right? So I'm showing here is under that box, and that's us with 200 units to spare. That's leverage. We're extra 200 units because we're 300. Right? We're 300. But that's it, we're 300. That's what the fulcrum is. The universe is still, it's contracting still, but we got enough energy, right? Because the energy is 300. We get 300, say 300 units a day. We're going to need 100. That's 200 extra. Right? Okay. Let's move to the next one. Okay, now move to 200. Now it's going down, right? Okay, we still need 100, but now we only got 100 extra. So we're losing energy. We're losing that leverage. That, I mean, okay, because I went a little too fast. Anybody, okay, see? So we're losing. Okay, so the universe, right? Universe is expanding, so we're losing energy. Then it goes down to 100. Then we don't have any extra energy. We have just enough to maintain ourselves. Extra energy. It's down to 100 now. We don't have any leverage. Okay. Let's just follow this. Try to do it slowly and carefully, brother and sister. Let's see here. Boom. That moves down to 0. See? So we don't have enough energy to even maintain ourselves. Right? Okay, now, this comes in a consequence. Like I said, consequence is very complicated. I gave you the simple version. Every action has an opposite equal reaction. So when we come into existence, that's the action. When you come into existence, that's an action. So what's the reaction? That means at that point, right? At that point, something has to come into exist because you're at 0, now the fulcrum is 0, right? So the balance is 0. So if you, the amount of energy is 100, right? And you got 100, the balance is 0, there has to be a negative to turn it back because the equation has to be equal 0. At that point, everything has to be equal 0. Let me back this because I might have missed that. Yep, we might have missed that point here. At this point, right, Everything has to equal 100. So if this equals 100, it's no problem. Right? Everything has to equal 100. At this point, when it was, everything had to equal 200, because that's the fulcrum at that point. Right? We'll see a little more later on in that. But it has to equal 0. But if you're 100, everything has to equal 0. That means you come in this, you got to produce a negative 100 to balance you out. See, that's the wisdom behind the end. That's why Antichrist. Because he's a negative of you. It says many negative Antichrists. It's not just one, it says many negative. Read it, it says many. So at that point, if one of us come into existence, they have to have a negative one that come into existence that's opposite to you. Opposite to you. Negative to you. Okay? Now, I got 50-50. Now, say, for instance, your structure can be 100. But say the structure of what you come existence can only, it's not as complicated as you. As complicated as they can get is 50. So that means it'd be 2 of them then. 2 of them. For every one of you, there'd be 2 of them but each one is less complicated, so put them together, they equal you. Like I said, it's be complicated, but I don't know if you're keeping up, brothers and sisters. So I'm going to do a little commentary here. See, in 1948, what was it, 0? Voting moved to 0. Now, I'm not showing that in the total picture. I'm just showing a small thing because if I try to show that, it'd be a big graph and everything else. I'm just pointing at that point 0. That's why Antichrist. Maybe you understand it when I do the rest of the presentation. Right? So, when Suleiman came to existence, right, the reaction to that had to be the Antichrist. When the Christ came into existence, there had to be Antichrist equal. But since they're less complicated, you can tell how powerful the Christ was related to them, by how many Antichrists came into existence when the Christ came to existence. And we know that Antichrist represents false or is not real, is not real so-called Israel, right? Is not real. I'm going to start calling them is not real. So, it's a lot here, brothers and sisters. Maybe you understand, maybe you don't. But that shows the power of Christ, because it took that man Antichrist to be the reaction. So that shows how complex Christ is, because, right? In other words, you got a dollar bill, but you got 100 pennies. See what I'm saying? So it's like a dollar bill. And they're complicated, but a penny is very simple. So they're all pennies. It's 100 of them still equal. It just begins a whole lot more with this, brothers and sisters. So just hold on if you can. That's what it's showing there. Right? So I'm showing this out of context because I'm showing from Dr. Yakub on down, but I'm showing you this particular situation right here. Now, this also, like I said, I'm doing a lot of commentary, so remember, I'm taking out a sequence of what I'm presenting here. But now, the demons, right, they almost same structure as the Levites, right, because they got, right, almost. So that's why you think it says that there's as many demons as there are Levites. You didn't catch that one, did you? Because they're the Antichrist or the Levites. Okay, so let's take this no further. You want to catch this a little further down the line, right? So each one of these coming to existence at that point, One of them had to come into existence. I think I can't make that point I want to make right now because I have to go further to explain this. So I'm not hold on to that for a minute, right? Because I'm just going to bring some grand finale in a minute. Right? Okay. Make sure I haven't got any message from anybody. Not yet. Okay. Stand that. Okay, let's move on, brothers and sisters. It's the same thing. If you was a 300, say for instance you was a 300, then you'd put a 300 over here. But if they only complicate 50, then you have 6 of them. That's still equals 300. Because they less complicated, you so be more of them. So in other words, your dollar bill, your $3, your $300 bill, right? Well, your $3 bill, right? And they 50 cents. So it'd be 6 of them. You want to worth 50 cents, but be 6 of them. That's equal. See, those are less complicated. So, follow that? Okay. Let's move on. Now, we're going to energy deprivation now. See, at this point, we're energy, we had enough to maintain ourselves, right? But let me back up. No, we didn't. That was in deprivation at 0, but now it's getting worse. So now it's over here, and the focus was at -100. A negative sign up here. That's -100, right? See, if it's at -100, then you got 300 here, 200 here, but 200 minus 300 is -100. And that's what it says right here. This is -100 because on that side of it. So if he's 300, he's a -300 plus a 200, then the result has to be, that's the fulcrum here, in other words, if you're 200, the fulcrum says, and this is the fulcrum right here, that means you have to produce a -300 to balance that out. That -300, right? More powerful than you. They become more, see, when it was at 0, they weren't more powerful. They was equal in power to you. But now they are more powerful than you because they're 300, you're 200. They're gaining power over you. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. I'm trying to keep this simple as possible. Oh, it moves over here. Now it's getting worse. Right? So if you're 200, they're 400. And that'd be, right? 850s. If they're 50s, they're 50 cents. And you dollars, right? And now they 400. That means they're twice as powerful as you now. Twice as powerful as you are right now. At that point. Okay. This is the math behind the wisdom of Dr. Yaqub and what we allow him to do. So Adam was more powerful than us. He had discipline that generated into power, but he was more, if he applied the same discipline, he'd be more powerful. Because the fulcrum is in his favor. They have leverage over us. Because the fulcrum's in their favor. So they have leverage over us during this period of time. I don't know if this math, this is not, like I said, it's not an analogy, but this is the actual math. Because the universe is constantly changing. That fulcrum is constantly moving. So it changes the balance of things. So in that point, right, that's the math, but the way it's told you is the way Yaqub decided to do this and everything else. Yeah. But what was the math that was driving it? What was the math that was driving those decisions? I'm telling you right here. Okay, let's move on. Now it's starting to move back the other way. Now the universe is starting to contract. Now it's moving back the other way. Now they're losing power. They're losing power. They're losing leverage. See? Now it's moving back the other way. See? It started moving back the other way. Right? Said 1865, 1860s. And see, he moved that far back right there. So now it's equal on both sides. Their power is equal. Focus at zero. This is 1948. 1948. Because that's when the Christ is conceived, and his conception produced the Antichrist. They balance each other. Right? He's the action that created reaction. That's why they call it Antichrist. See, they want that sales word for no reason, brothers and sisters. Antichrist, because that's what he is. But it says many Antichrists. Now for Levites, who the Antichrist for them? The demons, because that's why it's half and half for them. They're almost equal, because the process of raping them. But the point is, that's why it's equal. That's why they put it that way. They tell you they're the Antichrist. Now we're going to prove that in a minute, right? So follow me. If I'm going too fast, somebody send me a message. And same thing. Say if it was 200, there'd be 200. It'd still be balanced. The power would be equal. See? The power would be equal if they find discipline. They still have the same amount of energy. Depends on, right? Well, I don't want you to lose that texture right there, right? Still depends on the discipline. But the point is that when the fulcrum is zero, right? Then seesaw. Seesaw, brother. Oh, it took me long to get that one. 30 years to catch that one back. Seesaw. In the middle of a seesaw is a fulcrum. But then, anyway. So at this point, the Antichrist, and it shows you the power, right, of the Christ. That's why he's able to take down the beast, take down everything, because if you look over there and see how many Antichrists came, how many Antichrists it was that came into existence as a result of his conception, that shows you how powerful he is. Millions of them. How complex he is, right? Relative to him. That's another story altogether, brothers and sisters. And here we go. Now it's moving in the positive direction. And this is why I want to make my point here. Now it's moving in the positive direction. So you come to exist. Remember, now we move past zero. Now we get more energy, right? We get enough energy to maintain ourselves. See? So we're going to have that. Enough energy to maintain ourselves now. So in other words, we have control of ourselves now. Right? But at the same time, there's no devils. Because 100 minus 100 is 100. 100 minus 0 is 100. The fulcrum is at that point with equality at that point. The fulcrum is moved over there now. The fulcrum is 100 and we need 100. So no negative, they're gone. So let me explain that a little better. So you look at the end and you say, well, look at the Levites. At what point are they self-controlled and out of this hell? At the same point that the demons are all destroyed? And why is that the same point? The time I said, when they get to destroy, they leave. It's that same time demons destroy. That 5 months. Same time. They gone. They disappear. Why is that? See? Why is it when Suleiman says, when he steps into his glory, that's when false Israel destroyed, wiped out, gone, they're gone. So he's free of this, the control. Remember that at that point, he's not free of this reality yet. And so that's he's the Son of Man and was power and great power and glory at that point. In other words, he's free of this reality. But once he's free of reality, at the same time, this reality is destroyed, and forces were destroyed at the same time. And so was the son of perdition, which is the chief demon. And that's a little more complicated. That's why, because that's what this says right here. When you get there, they're gone. There's no, if you understand, they're gone. I told you all mathematics, Bill, and says I could tell you, but I don't think you might be able to keep up with this here. You have to start thinking mathematics. What's the mathematics behind it? That's why I say, well, how come they go at that particular time? Because it tells you right there they would be gone. Why is the perdition destroyed at the same time? So look at his brightness shines. Why at the same time? Right? Because well, I'm not going to. I'm leaving it there, boss, because I'm going to confuse anybody if I go any further. So now it's going positive. So there's no more devils anymore. Now we're moving. The universe is contracting more. So now we get up to the conformity moves up to 200. We don't need 100. I just showed some. I'm showing a period of time where we might need 200, or might. I was just showing to show how the chart works. Right? But say we always have 100. We only need 100. So now you got extra 100. You got leverage. So you're in heaven. You're in paradise, and there's no devils around. And that's the balance. 100 plus 100 equals 200. 100, and you get that at the bottom shows what the bottom, right? 100. Right? Let's move on first, because see, Fulcrum is moving, see, it's still moving. The house now it's moved to 300. Now you look all that leverage you get. Can never last forever. All the leverage you get more energy, more leverage, and no devils around anywhere. No Antichrist, anything, because that time is over. I don't know if you understand any of this, brothers and sisters. I told you, I'm pouring it out on you. Just the math behind it. And I'm showing you the math behind it. If you understand this, you see, this is not just something I just pull out there behind. This is the math behind it. And that's why things happen as they say in Angel. Oh, will this happen? That's the reaction. Yes, sir. What's the reaction of the Son of Man showing up? The devil's destroyed. What's the action of Levites may leave the country? The demons destroyed. I mean, was that the reaction to them finally breaking free? I mean, is that a coincidence that those things happen at the same time? Is one action another reaction? If it is, they depend upon each other. Right? So we actually empowered them because of the nature of the universe at that time. But now, that's what I'm saying. You can't tell me some scripture 500 years ago to match you, because that scripture is based on a different fulcrum. The crown was built on based on a different fulcrum. So the wisdom for that fulcrum for 500 years, I said Islam upgraded every 500 years. So every 500, so that wisdom is based on that. So you can't go back and use that because there's no value to you. You have to use it. And once we leave here, you get a new. And the engine is based on the fulcrum. That's where it is right now. It's talking about nations. What we talking about? Because the nations won't exist anymore. The devils won't exist. We talking about that kind of stuff anymore because they won't exist. You're talking about a whole different reality because the fulcrum has changed. So scripture will have no meaning, none whatsoever. The Quran has reciting value, but that's about it. Because it was based on a different fulcrum. I don't know if you understand this, balances. I think. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna move on to my next to try to do as much as I can, a redux of yesterday, right? Because apparently they manipulated my presentation. It looks like, right? So I'm trying to cover as much of it as I can as I remember, right? So right now, it took me a long time to repair this, brothers and sisters. I tell you, it takes me hours to do this. And now I got set up. I got several computers going, so now I'm looking at myself on another computer, so I can send myself an email. Hey, you buffering or whatever. I never did that before, so I said, let me go ahead and see if I can figure out how to do this. So I guess it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was. So I'm looking pretty good as far as I can tell. I can't listen to myself, otherwise I have a problem with the sound. I can't tell the sound because I guess I could, but hopefully it's okay. I didn't think about that one. I think I can, yeah, if I put the earphones on, I can hear the sound. My sound's okay too. You know, that'll be next time, right? Okay. So, moving on, brothers and sisters, right? Now, we know what's going to trigger this whole thing is Master from Muhammad, the one heaven. Remember I said, I was talking about the math of war? That's tied to that Falcon I was telling you about. See, the Falcon, I mean, it doesn't stay still. It moves, but it takes 5 years for it to make a complete circuit, if you so to speak, right? So the timing depends on how your knowledge of that math. How sophisticated Master Muhammad's math in that subject is, I don't know. But he's making a decision based on math. Maximize the enemy's losses, minimize his losses, if not eliminate his losses altogether. Because of war, there's loss on both sides. But if you could minimize your loss or eliminate them altogether, that's great. But you have no math and mathematics with double. No. And I just told you, I gave you some of it the other day. Okay, so I'm gonna try to go through this, and hopefully I can get through because it's remarkable. I got a picture of my presentation on YouTube, and it says it's 1 hour and 16 minutes long. It says it right there. I got the picture of it. But then when you play it, they only play 50 minutes. In other words, the best part of it, at the end, still getting down, tearing up. So they must have listened to it and say, hey, let's shut that part off. But I had a backup, right? So I uploaded it back up to Facebook. I tried to upload it to YouTube, but still got the sound too good. Hopefully the sound is better, right? Because it sounds like, I mean, usually they show like 5 or 6 people looking. All of a sudden there's 25, 20-some people looking at that one. What was that all about? What got their attention? Maybe it's a whole lot more. They say, hey, man, we got to shut this down, whatever. And my voice is kind of like, I don't know, it used to be a little smoother than it is now, so I guess that's come with age. I know it's a little rougher than it used to be. I guess that comes with age process. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure where we are right now, with God, Magog, and Antichrist, or the jail, or Satan, they're in control of the Middle East. Right? This is 2024. Well, actually, it's 27. I got 26 when I actually put that together, but that's where we are right now. And if you watch on YouTube, everybody's expecting that this thing's going to break loose any day now. In fact, 2 days, I think yesterday, I think they said it was, or 2 days ago, they said they got intelligence that Iran is going to attack within 48 hours. And a lot of people are worried about that. Anyway, let me move on, brothers and sisters. So hopefully I can get through this without any interruptions. That's where we are right now. So remember, this is future news, brothers and sisters. And this was about to happen. Remember, the war broke out in heaven first. There was phase 1, then phase 2. And then you got phase 1 and phase 2 also, because it said the king of south pushed at the king of north, and then the king of north pushed back. So this right here, you see, in blinking, you see that they're fighting. The war has started. So everybody's on the edge, right? And at that same time, that's where Suleiman comes to NOI. That's when thrones are cast down and ancient days is set. See, he comes there right while that war's going on. That's what you see in Exodus with Joshua. He came to Aaron's camp. Right? Aaron is Farrakhan. He's got control of NOI. He came to the camp while the war was going on. He said he heard the sound of war, but it wasn't the sound of victory or defeat. The war was going on. That's when he shows up there while the war is going on. So as soon as the war starts, Farrakhan is toast. And it says, how is that so? Because it says the people with him is going to take him down. He's going to be taken down within. They got trouble over there now if you listen carefully to their broadcast on a Sunday, because they're very defensive. Oh, just have faith in Farrakhan. Don't worry about that stuff on social media and all that stuff. Why they tell you that if they weren't worried about it? Just have faith in Farrakhan. Don't lose your faith. Faith in a rip off artist, eunuch, coward. He's a demonstrated coward. I was there. He ran away, left the sheep to be devoured by the wolves. Man, certified coward. So this is where. So I'm saying exactly. I don't know exactly when it's going to start. I'm pretty sure it's going to start before the end of the month. I can't guarantee that, but that's my calculation. So nobody know but Master Muhammad himself, though, the father David, right? Okay. You know what the outcome would be? His outcome would be between now and October, right? That the war would go on, and my estimation, the war was going on at least a month, maybe 2, right? America and Britain forces their power is broken. The Shia are victorious. And they throw them out the region. That's for one heaven. Michael and his angel, that's Master Muhammad, his angels of Shia. They call him their 12th Imam. I'm not sure if he's in communication with them or not, but when the war starts, he will be in communication with them because they're his soldiers. They're his army. I mean, how can you have an army if you're not in contact with it? See? And so they're going to kick ass. Well, let me mention something on that real quick, brothers and sisters. Somebody say, violent, man. I'm not preaching violence. They're the ones that's violent, so they're going to attack us. I'm talking about self-defense. They've been attacking us for 500 years. He says, if you say do unto them as done to you, that means they don't do anything, you ain't got nothing to do to them, do you? So your defense is the reaction, not the action. They're the aggressive, they're the violent. And you're supposed to be able to defend yourself, according to their law, in the manner of the violence that's you're affected with. So they pull a gun and you're allowed to pull a gun and shoot them back. That's that violence on their part. You're doing to them as they've done to you. So, come on. I mean, come on, get me. I know they after me. They want to put, they're already trying to get some people I know. They already got some people, right? Because ain't nothing for them to come and say, I gave me dollars just to sit. I mean, how people wouldn't take it. So let's move on anyway. So they kicked out. Suleiman has control in the eye, and he's warning them now. This gospel preaching all the world, then the end will come. So he's warning them that false Israel is the true seed of Abraham. That's not is not real. There isn't. They are is not real. It's not really catchy yet, but I'm gonna make it catchy. They are is not real. Is not real is not Israel. Is not real is not Israel. You are real. You Israel. You Israel. So hey, I'm kind of laughing right now, bro, because I had like a little inspiration. I was all angry and mad yesterday, and the day before yesterday, and everything else. Think about these devils and stuff. And then I start thinking about, how this balance and folk and everything and all that works and everything. And I said, oh, all upset about they can't win. It's impossible. If you understand the math, it's impossible. They know back. It's not going to be no peace treaty or whatever they're talking about. Or they might come and say, we made a peace agreement that they break immediately. They never went to JCPOA, did they, like I told you? If you understand that math, they cannot win. They're dead. The fulcrum is moving. We're gaining leverage, and they're losing leverage. That means everything they do eventually backfires and work against them. That's what leverage. Leverage, when you have leverage, it works in your favor. If leverage is against you, this makes you cause you backfiring. So I hope you understand from that point of view, brothers and sisters, they're getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And so is false Israel. Because remember, as the fulcrum is moving, the Sulmans get stronger. They're getting weaker. And to the point where, at the time when he's manifest, they destroyed. Somebody, all of them go at the same time because you understand this. Anyway, so at this point, he's warning people, right? And they're thrown out, and fear grips America. He says, man's hearts be falling for fear, because once it happened, it said the powers. Remember, he didn't have that fear until the powers of heaven was broken. See, do you pay attention to these things, brothers and sisters? He says, because his man's heart would forever fear those things come to earth, because the powers. So once he saw that, and also he sees also false Israel is going, America and Britain, and their power is broken in the Middle East, and now fear grips America, fear greater than you could ever imagine. And the source of fear is us. That's what it's all about. The source of that fear is us. And like pain, the only thing you want to do is get rid of that pain. Give me something to get rid of that pain, anything. You cut your foot off to get the pain, amputate anything, stop that pain. So and fear is mental. Fear is a social pain, emotional pain. Like confusion is mental pain. When you lift away that's physical pain. But this is emotional pain. Or they have mental pain too. But that fear, emotional. That's why it says the heart's failing. You see how they put that together, brothers and sisters? Hearts by emotions. They didn't say mental. They said mental be perplexed and confused, but they said that fear is emotional because they got heart attacks over it. And so, eventually, they're going to know that we're the true Savior. Because, first of all, you got someone telling them. Because that's going to be that's going to be international. Because everybody familiar with Pharaoh kind of man like them. But when that gets, that's going to be big news. And Suleiman's telling them, and he's explaining what's happening. And then people go look and say, damn, he was saying this. Blah, 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 blah. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna be, that's why I said this will be preached all the nations. All the nations gonna know about it, and they're gonna understand it. And so when they understand to a certain extent, they're gonna understand that this is happening. Remember, 16, 19, 29, all this happened because of you. And now, false Israel is a lie. That means they're devils. They're supposed to be a devil. That's gonna be too much for them. Actually, their minds is into perplexed. They're perplexed. They're in derision. They're in derision. What can I have a drunk when I have a drink? They're in derision and they grip and exponential fear. I don't know what you call it. There's not a name for it, that kind of fear, because no one's ever experienced that fear before. Unprecedented. And you're sorcerers, they're going to attack you. Get rid of that pain, get rid of that fear. Please, God, get rid of that fear, man. I can't stand it, man. Ooh. And the economy just collapsed. It's collapsed. The economy is in the process of collapsing. And that emphasizes the fear. Because you got fear that, and everything around you is collapsing. And you believe in hell and heaven. Like, so, hey, man, I ain't going to heaven. Mom and dad ain't in heaven. They in hell. I'm on the way to meet them. Hope you understand, bro. So that might be I might be a little dramatic because I don't know how to get this point over to you in another kind of way, brother, sister. And I really can't even do it, even if I want to, because I haven't experienced it myself. I'm just telling you from what I'm learning and my understanding of things, but I can't tell you how chocolate cake tastes. I never tasted it myself. I can tell you, I see people eating it, they like it, and it looks like this. And even if I taste it, how can I explain it to you? You have to taste yourself. That's part of that's tribulation. Okay, let's move on, brothers and sisters. Let's make sure I get this right. Okay, see here? And then that's when they attack you. That's when they attack you. Oh, let me get out of the way. So you can see it. Oops. Okay, I hope you didn't mess up the previous slide. Let me show, just in case. This is their war here. Okay. American, Gog, Magog. Who's Magog? It says Gog is from the land of Magog. Magog is Britain. That's where America came from, Britain. And with their war. And then they're defeated. The Shia victorious. Michael's angels are victorious. And then what? Then that fear, they come at this, get you. Your source of that fear, attack you. And Suleiman, still here, telling the Nation of Islam, right? You've been attacked. But at this point in time, right? See, you calling on the God, but God ain't listening to you. To my NOI. Because read about you was worshiping the golden calf. So God forsake you. He forsake you because you turned away from the God, like I said. Aaron caused you to turn away from the God, to turn to the God called the golden calf. So the God forsake you. He said, Moses, I'm going to get rid of them. He said, Moses down there said, take a look, Moses, I'm going to get rid of them. They forsake me, I'll forsake them. And then what Moses do? Moses go down, and first he's pleading your cause, and then he looks and say, he gets mad. And he sends an army after your ass to get rid of you. See, that's the Levite. Man, he's a Levite too. He sends a Levite army after you to give you ass. He tells me, no, go get them. There's a lot more to that, brothers and sisters. Maybe I'll talk about some more time. He said, go get them. Remember, Moses doing this. Elijah's doing this. Right? He's a Levite too. Right? So he tells the Levites, who Levites? These are Africans over here on the Visa and Cara. They're not us. They didn't go to the Holocaust with us. So he sends them after you. Wipe them out. Right? But remember, you see the green down there? Remember the green and black, both of them was Elijah's followers. Remember, because he was preaching to demons and the saints. I don't know if you probably miss all this stuff, bro. Says I see it all. That's why he said after his followers, get them all. Get them all, wipe them all out. See, remember because he had the chaff and the wheat, preaching all of them. See? So he said, wipe all of them out. See, they didn't preach my teachings. Because he said they turn away from me. Him turn away from me and turn away from the God. So Ephraim, and the only thing that saves him is Suleiman. I said, no. He stays with him and shields him when the Levites come in. See? Because he's teaching them how to withstand that blow, that fire. Because he was baptized with fire and the Holy Spirit. I think I explained that. I don't know if I'm going to take time to explain it now. You understand, brothers and sisters? He's the only thing standing between you and destruction. Because God gave up on you, he said he's going to just give up on you. And Moses gave up on you, so he said, Levi said after your ass, burn to tear you up. You might call it betrayal. What a betrayal? You betrayed by him. You turned against him. You turned against the teachings. Like I was explaining yesterday, in the lands of the blind, one person that's blind can say he can see, and everybody, how they know? So they follow him around because he tell them he can see. So they fall off a cliff somewhere and it's too damn late. And that's what Farrakhan did. He's blind. He's a demon, but he's as blind as they are. But they don't know because he's blind. They're blind too. So he tell them, I can see. I'm with Elijah. I got Elijah's teeth. Well, if they don't know Elijah's teachers, that's the whole point. So whatever he tells them, that's good enough for them because they didn't know Elijah's teachers. They never learned it. Or they would never got Farrakhan. They would just, hey, all praise to Allah for Elijah. They love. But they didn't understand what he was teaching. So therefore Farrakhan said, I'm telling what he's saying. See? And I have some of that same problem with people that say they work with me. I don't understand it. So somebody come along and say, yeah, man, if I'm going, is this what how would they know? That's one of the reasons why you're going to the Holocaust. But not the Holocaust, tribulation. Because see, soon I ain't going to prove that bullshit. Because soon as Elijah left, everything he did was destroyed. No. You had to prove. So you had to prove Elijah. You had to prove that you got it. You had to prove that you got it. Musulman, if he's going to baptize you as fire and spirit. See? So when you come to that tribulation, you come through whole, then you prove that you got it. Because that's the only way you're going to get through it. Whole. You might get through it crippled and blind and crazy. But the only way you get through it whole in one piece, you have to have got your mat. You start getting your mat together. You have to get those pillars together. You have to get the angel together. You ain't going to get through it. Tells you that. So they washed their robes in the blood of the Lamb. Remember, so there it is. Hit you that fire. Those are 2 tablets that tell you about. He hit you that fire. And see, Obama, that's another one. He's the one riding that white horse in the 6th seal. He's the Levite. He's the one that's leading them. And that was a question I never really addressed. I'm not going to really talk about it much here. Well, he's going to lead that Levite army. The problem is, he's going to lead it from over there because when this war breaks, Africa's going to split into 2 parts. This will be a so-called Islamic Africa, which that's not proper characterization, but we make the distinction. That's going to be align themselves with the Shia and with Master Muhammad. And there's going to be the other side, right? That's non-Islamic, right? And they're going to ally, because remember, that's the struggle was between Esau and Jacob. Esau was the older brother, twin brother, means they look just like us and everything else. They went to war because they said they're supposed to inherit, and God said, no, I'm giving the inheritance to Jacob, the younger brother. Because they didn't go to the Holocaust. But we did, and we survived it. And now they think, hey, man, that's another story together. But the war between them, that's the final war between them and us. I'm not going to go into that kind of detail right here, brothers and sisters, maybe later. Right? See? So, but see, Elijah, remember, he's a Levite. He's going to have them destroyed. Because remember, the green and the black, those are 2, those his followers when he was on his throne. When he was the leader. They killed them all. Did you catch that one? Just those 2. Why not the other ones? Those 2, those his followers, kill them all. Go wipe them all out, because they ain't following my teachers. They not worshiping the God. They worship some originator who's making babies in everybody's womb and everything. And they're not following the lessons. We ain't going nowhere. They calling God a liar. I mean, come on. They said, man, get rid of them. All of them. And so I said, oh, no. Hold on. Remember, so Isaac, they about to kill me. He said, no, hold on. Right? And then that kicks off Armageddon. They kicked out of the Middle East. They're attacking blacks here, right? And so that triggers Armageddon here and in Europe. I explained that, right? How the oil is cut off and the Europeans are totally cut off from oil. When the access to have oil then would be from America. America doesn't have any. They claim to have, they don't, even whatever they have, they still can't get to it. And so Europe, right, make nicey with Farrakhan, nicey with Russia. They turn against America, and America, all those bases and everything over Europe, and plus all those troops that came out of survive. Not many troops will survive coming out of the Middle East, because when they leave out of the Middle East, they're going to leave out where they pass on fire, because there'd be no mercy. They would do like they did the Iraqis when, remember, they attacked Iraq, and the Iraqis was running, they were shooting them in the back. Or it's going to be worse than that for the Americans this time, right? Because they so hated so much, they're going to have no mercy on them. Ain't gonna be give up. And you give up, yeah, they know they ain't give up because they know what's gonna happen to them. And so they're gonna be running into Europe, but they run into the front fire, from the fire pan to the fire. Because they run into Europe, all those bases, all the countries gonna turn against them because that's the condition they have to do to receive oil from Russia, right, to keep their economies going. Otherwise, total economic collapse. So now America's being whooped over there, and it's being whooped over here, it's being whooped over here. By the demons that destroyed Samson tearing it all apart. What by Nation of Islam, doing them as they've done to you, tearing their ass all apart. Twice as much. They're doing more damage than anybody. They're doing more damage than anybody. And then you got the African Levites I told you about. They're attacking everybody. Anything that's identified America, they're attacking everything. Because they're allied with the goat. Remember I said Obama will be leading them either from here or from over there. If they lead from here, right? He knows his army is with the goat. They come with the goat and they unite. So he's tearing them, sorting them up before they come here. You understand what I'm saying? I make that clear. You got the Levite army that's they're under Obama's command. Those that are here and those that are still over there. Now, when war breaks out, if he's still here in the country, he will lead the battle from here, knowing that his army is going to come in with the goat comes in. And they unite together, right? But while in the meantime, he's devastating, because they call it like hailstones. He's devastating America. He's tearing it apart. Because they hate America too. Look what America's done to Africa. They've done more to Africa than ever. As much, not near as much as us, but more than they did in other nations. You understand, brothers and sisters? Let me move on. And then they're fleeing. That's why they also call clouds, if you understand the Angel. So when Suleiman, right, and Shishel forces were gone by that time, right, the siege and gone, right? And so that's the resurrection. When they fleeing is a resurrection. That's when 4 winds are blowing. It's a resurrection. I don't know if you caught that, but the thing, that's the bones coming together. They all come together. Right? But the demons, right? See, the demons, they're the Antichrist to the L and the Y. That's why they destroy when the Y becomes free and independent. Then when it leaves the country, they're free and independent at that point. And that's the demons that die right at the same time. Is that a coincidence? And then, so at that point, they cast them out. Once they come together, it says, I'll take the chaff and the wheat, and I'll throw the chaff out. Remember in Mark, he separated demons from the saints and threw the demons back to the swine daddies, and they got to fight each other and went off the cliff together. Men's hearts failing them for fear, for looking at those things was coming upon earth. Their fear is just because of anticipation. I wish they when it gets here. They have heart attacks just because at that point they know what's coming here. Because the powers of heaven have been shaken. That's what it said. The powers of heaven have been shaken and broken. So now they understand what that means. And then see Son of Man come in the clouds of great glory. Now he's manifest. It says, and it shall be a sign of the sun, the moon, and the stars upon the earth, distress of nations, all the European nations under great distress. Under great distress. Right? With perplexity and the seas and waves roaring. That's the goat, man. They're roaring. They can't wait to get to this. Because now they become the superpowers. Because if you read the dragon, which remembers this false house of Saul, who fuels this reality, right? Had 7 heads and 10 horns. Has European powers. And he crowns upon the heads. That means Europeans had control. They were superpowers. He has 7 heads, 10 horns. But the other beast has 7 heads, 10 horns too. So it's the same beast. The point is a power shift from Europeans to Asia and China. Because Europeans are tearing themselves apart in Armageddon. And they can't wait to get there. Because on the way here to America, it says their feet would not touch land, right? It comes from the west, would not touch land. The only way that could be has to be China. India follow them because they don't have to cross any land to get here because their coast is the Pacific Ocean. America's coast is the Pacific Ocean. So they come across the Pacific Ocean to the ram and tears the ram's ass up. The ram's already been, there's not too much left to tear up anyway. You understand? See? Stand, brothers and sisters. And then Nick, right? And that's when that's when Michael delivers the elect, because he leaves the inner behind. Some everlasting life, some everlasting shame. At that point, right there, wake, some everlasting life, everlasting point. But they had to go through tribulation. That's their baptism. They had to be baptized. See? Fire and Holy Spirit. See? Be tested, proven that they got it. And Suleiman now, he's over there because she's not coming here. He's over there, right? Preparing to battle the Sunni. Let me say one quick thing about the Sunni brothers and sisters. I talked about this yoga yesterday. Islam is mathematics Islam. That's what they say, right? They tell you, right? Okay, so how can you call yourself Islam if you don't know any mathematics? How can you identify yourself with Islam if you don't know any mathematics? So you just can't say crap and just say stuff. You might say it now because they got so-called freedom of speech in this country, and that's eroding fast as hell. But that's not going to work. As the Quran says, only those who speak that has his permission, and they speak it right. That means you can't speak when you get to here unless you know what the hell you're talking about. You better be able to prove what you say. Because you'll open your mouth and say something that ain't correct, you might lose your tongue. See, usually this universe is perfect. It's mathematically, no flaws in it. We ain't got time for your bullshit. You're not even gonna make it there. See? So the Sunni, they producing anything? No, they don't have no mathematics either. They can't even apply mathematics to their Quran. I can prove that. That means they ain't Muslim. They're not Islam. Where's mathematics at? The Shia got mathematics. Iran produced. They do their own weapons and everything else. It takes mathematics to do that. But Sunnis ain't producing a goddamn thing. They ain't got no mathematics. They got a lot of dogma and bullshit, but they ain't got any mathematics. They're not even Islamic. And then if you read to understand about Adam, they're not even Muslim. They're not even Islamic or Muslim. Because they refuse Submit to Adam. I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna obey your laws. But I ain't gonna obey you. I'm not gonna submit. Because Muslim means be tired, submission to the will of Allah. And they said, I ain't gonna submit to that. They was cursed. So not, but they got Farrakhan got you worshiping them. See, that tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? Because they're not Islam and they're not even Muslim. They call you shirk. Right? And let me close. I'm gonna close out in a minute, bro. But I gotta say this again. I mean, here you got Prophet Muhammad, the man of the hour. I mean, Arabia. I mean, he's the man of Arabia. Everybody knows him. He's known in the whole known world. All of Africa knew him. All of Asia knew. All of Europe knew him. The Roman Empire, they knew about Prophet Muhammad. Everybody knew about Prophet Muhammad during that time. Maybe this part of the world didn't, but that part of the world, everybody knew about him. Right? That's how much power. He moved the Arabs from nothing to something. They became powerful. They was kicking ass. They took control of Arabia. Right? They came with a new song, a new dance, and no one could defeat them. Here's Prophet Muhammad now, that greater soul, that greater man, and no one, not a sculpture. So I'm gonna make a sculpture of him, an artist. I'm gonna draw a picture of him, right? A literary person. I'm gonna write a description of him. Nobody did that. And you expect me to believe that? You expect me to believe that? You can pull that crap out of your ass and then tell me that's honey. I'm supposed to believe that? No, I don't believe that for a second. Because first of all, Arabs weren't even white during that time. See? You look at Saddam Hussein himself, he was dark, plus he didn't have straight hair. You look at it closely. And a lot of Arabs like that, they don't want you to see them. You see? So that's a whole nother story, but they turn themselves white, and they don't want you to know my problem was black. They don't want you to know that. See? And they just as bad with him as these people did Elijah, because they're not following his teeth. Because he's announced him himself. He said, what, 9/10 of them, something along that line, that he didn't know them, they wouldn't know him. That's what he said. He's announced them. He said they was all hell-bound. So as soon as he said, wait a minute, you mean 9/10 of us are hell-bound? But they said, not me, I'm not the one. Well, hell, if there's 9 million of them, if there's 10 million of them, and 9 million of them is hell-bound, that's who was that 1 million that gets all past that? Maybe that's the Shia. Anyway, let's move on, brothers and sisters. So then the demons are cast out, and they have war with the devils. Remember the cannibalism, everything is going on in this country. I mean, it's unbelievable. Cannibalism, eating on young. I don't think it'd be a dog left in this country by the time the run rolls through. Maybe in some cases, maybe the children be gone and the dogs still barking. Maybe they feed the children, the dogs, feed the dog the children too when they eat them. It's going to be, you can't imagine what's about to happen here, brothers and sisters. You understand? But that's the demon wars. Suleiman and NOI and tribulation fighting their way all the way to the West Coast. And they got armies, what's left of armies chasing them for one or two reasons. Either catch them and see if you can get them, the army to help fight. Because remember, America's been get ass kicked over Europe, everywhere. And now you got an army 17 million strong. See if you can get them or kill them. And that's their task. And they chase them all the way to the West Coast. It says they catch him right there. It says in Exodus they catch him. Right? It says the NOI was between the sea and Pharaoh's army. He was on their back. Red Sea. That means that's the goat coming in. The whole Navy right there's on the West Coast. They're about to embark with their troops. And here comes in Pharaoh's army, right? They on one side of them, and so they facing Pharaoh's army, and their back is the goat Chichan in that army. I'm not going through all the details and everything here, right? But then it says that was opened up, and they walked through. Women made, that's a long story, brothers and sisters. And they walked through. And then the waves, they said walk through on dry land, so the waves departed, right? Because the waves represents China, India. See, they parted, let them through. They attacked them. I can go after that. There are a lot of perspectives. I'm not going, I did yesterday, right? So one reason is because when by the time they get there, they're such a powerful army. I mean, that's no story. Move on, sisters. And then they close in and destroy Pharaoh's army. They destroyed his country, and they burned it down. Okay? And at that same time, that's when because they outnumbered the demons, right? They outnumbered. They fought like hell for 5 months. And then at the same time that goat settles here and the Levites depart, demons are destroyed. Remember I told you? Why is that? Why is the same time the Levites finally free, knowledge of self and everything else, right? They're free, not under control of those anymore on the way home. At the same time, the demons are destroyed. Fulcrum, brothers and sisters. Constantly changing. Now you know the math behind it, and maybe you do, maybe you don't. Well, and then you got, I'm about to close out, brothers and sisters. So, then you got the flood. See, who's the flood? The flood is China, India coming in. The reason they call them the flood because they see Educate. They represent this river, the sea and the rivers. Also because they have a 20 million man army. That's what it says in Angel. They got a flood of humanity. That's no story. There's no hints there. And they wipe out the demons and Europeans too. And Obama's the one. He's the one that's driving this thing at this point because he's the one that told Eve to take us out. He's the serpent that told Eve to take us out. See, everybody's secrets exposed here. You see, you don't understand. It's exposing everybody's secrets. He secretly hates you. He wants you dead. See, Angel exposes that. Now you can go on thinking like you think whatever. Angel exposes everything. And that's what said, because he's going to be, at the end, the final war will be, I keep showing this book. I don't know if you can see it at the end. I read printed 30 years ago, brothers and sisters. I said the final war, Tekel, if you can read that. The final war, right, between black nations, us and Levites. Oh, maybe. What I'm going to do is I should just put a picture, shouldn't I? I should just have put a picture. Next time I will. Put a picture in the presentation. Right? And that he's bringing the final wars. That's the flood that covers the whole earth. Wipes out the whole earth. That's European countries. I think I said, brothers and sisters. Sign of Jonah. Okay, I'm not going to that, brothers and sisters. I'm just going to go and see if my presentation got all, they messed it. It looked pretty good. I'm looking at my other screen here. I don't see any issues. So, unless I missed something. Well, I really didn't get to this yesterday. I guess a little bit, brothers and sisters. It says, well, maybe I'll touch on it. Let me see if I can find this here real quick. Okay. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights hard earth. That's two situations there, brothers and sisters. See, as Jonah, they refer to him as the same person. They refer to Jonah as 3 days, nights in the whale's belly, but Son of Man is 3 days and night in hard earth. But you think the same thing. Some people think, well, they said, well, it depends on. I'm just going to deal with that right now. So what the heart of Earth, see, the heart of Earth is Britain. See, if you look at the angel key, right, it'd be the left side, right? So at Britain's, that's what it says. See here? And 3 days and 3 nights, only way that could be, as far as Israel had to be gone during that time. Then you got 3, because these represent the days and these represent the nights. So it'd be 3 days, night for him to be there and to be situated. That's what they tell you. That's a little hint there, brothers and sisters, a little subtle. But in this case, this when Jonah fled, he was in this part of this he was in this part of the world, right? And in the oriental part of the world in Guam, 3 days, 3 nights, right? In the belly of the serpent, and sea, they refer to the sea here. Here they refer to earth, here they refer to the sea. 3 days, 3 nights. That's, I don't know if that means anything to you, not brothers and sisters, right? But that's something, I don't know. Well, whatever. Okay, we're going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. Except for 76 years. Well, let's look at that real quick. It says 70. Well, let's look at, it says, I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint which spake, how long shall be the vision concerning the sacrifice? That's us, that's Isaac been sacrificed. That's, I'm not going into details here. And there's a transgression that causes this desolation or destruction. Somebody's transgressing somebody's land, their property, whatever. They cause destruction. They get a sanctuary. That's the land, the sanctuary, and the people of it, the host of it. So somebody is transgressing somebody's land and the people that own the land. Somebody's transgressing that causes desolation. Well, that happened in 1948. False Israel went, and the sanctuary is that's Jerusalem. They took Jerusalem and they would stop pressing the Arabs, the Palestinians, and said that would go along. That would go on for 2,300 days, and then Jerusalem, Palestine be cleansed. They be gone, wiped out, exterminated. So look what that means. Okay, back. So what's 2,300 days? Divided by 30. They give you 76.6, which is actually, if you understand English, those are years. So it's 76 years from 1948 to 1924, that's 76 years. They'll be victorious. They'll have control of Jerusalem, and they have the Arabs underfoot oppressing them for 76 years. And then they'll be wiped out. That brings you to now, right? August. You got to rule out September, because if your prayers are answered, the fleeing will not take. The war could be going on in September, but the fleeing will not be going on in September. The fleeing will not be going on in December, January, February. And if you go there, that means that's 1925 altogether. So that's all together out. So this has to take place. This has to take place, unless I got it totally wrong. 76 years. Between October and November, that's the fleeing. Because you say, do not flee, pray you not flee in December and the winter. That's this in these months. And after that would be another year. So that'd be 77 years. That could work. And it can't be September. So you guys, August, October, November. So the war could be going on in September, but your fleeing would have to take place during this time here. That means Jerusalem had to be going down. Hope you understand, bro. So I'm going to leave it there. Well, heard a voice of trembling, of fear. Great fear is about to embrace America. I mean, it's going to embrace it like you wouldn't believe. It's going to embrace America. Great fear is going to grip America by its throat. Right? It's going to, it says, I heard a voice of trembling. They're going to be trembling of fear and not peace. Ask now and see whether man is ever labored with child. That means they're going to be like they have these strong men, so-called SEALs and everything else. Everyone's like, oh, I'm scared to death. Great fear. Why say man's hands on his loins like a woman in labor, and his face is pale? That we can't get pale. That's them. That day is great. This time Jacob, he should be in. Yes. Time of fear. Great fear. Therefore, all those who who devour you shall be devoured. That's retribution, vengeance. See, you command submit for 5 years, but now you commit vengeance. You commit to vengeance. You commit to vengeance. You can't say the God gonna do it himself because he told you, do unto them. To me, you the one that's gonna do it. You the God that's gonna do it. It says right there, do it. The God ain't saying gonna sit back and they no God's gonna sit back and do it. Because you the God. It says you do it. It ain't done to you. You're gonna do it. You know, mystery God doing it. See? So those devoured, you're gonna devour them. And every side took you to captivity, you're gonna take them captivity. I told you, I explained about this season. Explain all that. Those who plunder shall come plunder. That's the demons, the Farrakhan, that plunder you, slipping off of you for years and years and years. Those who pray upon you, I should make it pray. That's also them too again. Silas and all those clowns. For I was still healthy. You see, this be a healthy time for you. Remember, the fall was in your favor, so it's healthy for you, but structure for them. Okay, brothers and sisters. I'm going to leave it there. Mission of the covenant. That's what it says right there. So he's Farrakhan calling God a liar. Same day, this is the covenant. This is the covenant. Not the vision. This is the covenant. So he mentioned the covenant. This is what he's probably mentioning. The same day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying until Abram, they don't call him Abram for nothing. The only place to call Abram, right? Saying, until thy seed have I given this land from the river of Egypt unto the great river Euphrates. Look at any map. That's Arabia. That's our land. They took it from us. We take everything, that damn thing back. They took from us. That means we take everything back. We're going to get rid of everybody. That stone going to crush everything. Because all ours, we taking it back. And it says Joshua's going to lead the charge. And Master Muhammad is like was a protector. So it says, read it. He said, he be in the clouds, 10. He been out. He says, he will protect, he says, he will protect Joshua all the days of his life. He says, no man will be able to stand against him. No one has so far. I've never met Master Muhammad, never talked to him, but I'm confident. And let's close here, brothers and sisters. Why they don't tell you this? This is what they say. Validates Elijah. The whole hour sound message. They says Elijah. What about the rest? The same verse. He appeared away before me. Who's? We're waiting for somebody else. The Lord whom you seek should be seeking this person. He's the messenger of the covenant. So why don't? Because they're going to be. They're going to have to answer these things, and they ain't going to have no answer. And it's hard to answer a question like this without tongue, ain't it? Or maybe a tongue. No, I'm not going there, brothers and sisters. Okay, I'm going to close, brothers and sisters, here. Man, robbing God. Farrakhan robbing Nation of Islam for. Right? Let me close out, brothers and sisters. See if they cut it short today. Okay. Okay, brothers and sisters, the Watchmen, future news. Ain't they now, brothers and sisters? TikTok, Farrakhan, TikTok. Stop tormenting me, TikTok. Please stop tormenting me, TikTok. Please don't make me leave the country, TikTok, TikTok. Farrakhan on his knees, please, please. Please, please, I want to see picture that in his diaper. Please, please, that's what it says. Please, please. Don't take me to the country. Please stop tormenting me. Let me go back to my devil daddies, the swine. That says so, doesn't it? Please, 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 please. If he's saying please, what do you think Ishmael would be saying? If he can say, if If he's allowed to say anything, please, I'm sorry. Daniel, oh man, Jeru, and Wesley. He you know, he wasn't looking at my messages because I copied him right. Can I unblock you? Can I unblock you, please? Brothers and sisters, it says a word, terrible thing to get falls in the hands of Son of Man. So I'm kind of laughing about myself. I was real deep. I was getting myself real worked up, real angry. Right? I said, I calmed down. I said, hey, wait a minute. What am I angry about? See? I need to get angry because I know what's happened to them. I've been peaceful for 30 years. I can't handle for 30 more days. Assalamu alaikum.